Boker Tov.
Good morning. As we go to the Chitas of today, is Monday, which is the second reading in the portion of Koirach. We are holding on chapter 16, verse number 14 in the book of Bamidbar. We are holding in the middle of the argument of Koirach and his group with Moshe Rabbeinu, and we are holding yesterday when Moshe Rabbeinu invited Dasan Aviram to come and speak to him. And this is what they are in the middle of answering, why they will not go up to have this conversation. Verse 14. And you're not even brought us to the land of flowing of milk and honey. Nor do you have given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Even if you gouge out the eyes of those men, will we not go up? We will not go up. But Rashi says the statement refers to the word not stated above, meaning you have not brought us up, and you have not given us an inheritance of fields of vineyards. Yes, you say to us, I'll bring you up from the affliction of Egypt to a good land, and we're all going to die in this desert. You bring us out here, but you have not brought us to the land of milk and honey. Instead, you have decreed upon us to kill us in the desert. As it says, your corpse shall fall in this desert. Even if you send messengers to gouge out our eyes, if we do not go up to you, will we not go? We will not go up. Like person who attributes his own curse on his fellow. Moshe Rabbeinu was exceedingly distressed. And God said, and he said to God, Al tefanim mechasams, do not accept their offering. Nasasi, I'd never taken a donkey from one single person. I've never harmed a single person, not one single one of them. Nash says, in the pasuk, in the Yayichar, we translate as he angered, but in Torah, it's Yayichar is a concept of distress. He became very distressful. According to the simple meaning, Moshe says, do not accept their incense that they not sacrifice before you tomorrow. According to the Medrash interpretation, he said, I know that they have a portion in the daily offering. Let their portion not be accepted favorably before you. Let the fire leave it and not consume it. I did not take a donkey from any one of them, even when I went down to the Midian to Egypt. I placed my wife and son on a donkey to ride, and I should have taken a donkey from their property. They should have sent me a limousine. And I had to come down my own way. I took only from my own property. Uncle Israel says, Shachis, the king's service will go Shechvar. Verse 16. Moshe said to Korach, you and your time congregation should come before God. You and Aaron tomorrow. Your company, your group. Verse 17. Each take his pan. The Sato potatoes will put upon it potatoes. We bring it before God. Each person is pan. Amishim u'Masayim machtas 250 pans. V'ata ve'arein ish machta, you and Aaron, each one his pan. She says ish machta means 250 men among you. Verse 18, vayikru ish machta, each one took his pan. Vayitol lehem eish, they put upon a fire. Vaysim aleim potatoes, they put upon it potatoes. Vayamdu pesach ha'il, they stood before the tent of meeting Moshe. And this shows you that these people did it. They really felt they were right. And Korach assembled the congregation before the tent. And the Eibishter appeared, the Eibishter appeared in the cloud for the congregation. Now she says, in the words of Makri, all that night he went for tribes enticing him. Said, "Do you think I care only for myself? I'm not doing it for myself. I care for all of you. These people have come to take all the high positions, the kingship for himself, the corner for his brother." So he enticed a lot of people to question the leadership of Moshe Rabbeinu. Hashem, and he appeared in a pillar of cloud. And that completes the Chumash for today. We now go to the Tanya of the day. We are holding in the 9th chapter in Shara Yichud B'Emunah. We're going to get a little Kabbalistic right now. And as you see, it's an Alter Rebbe now briefly explains the various tzimtzumim, the various contractions that had to take place in order to enable the attribute of Atzilus to emanate from the infinite light of Or Ein Sof. This is a note. This is, you see, that's why it's shaded in gray. This is a note in the Tanya. This note will outline the mystical principle of Tzimtzum of Ein Sof light. Meaning, before the Tzimtzum, before the contraction, God, infinite life, manifestation with predominant. So there was light of God. That's it. The whole vast, nothing. There was just God. Spirit, God, infinite. Tzimtzum caused his capacity for limitation and finitude, which previously had been submerged within the infinite power to be revealed. So therefore, there was a concept in the infinite, because God is infinite, therefore he is finite. And therefore, within infinite, there is finite. But it was not revealed because it was totally engulfed in the finite, in the infinite. With Tzimtzum Adam Kadmon and Tzimtzum of Adam Kadmon, which is the highest state of existence after Tzimtzum, that's all in the prophecy of Ezekiel. He saw premortal man, Adam Kadmon, that's the premortal man. Nasa Adam b'tzalmeinu kidmuseinu, as the verse says, we should make man in our image. And this primal thought that contains and is the source of all subsequent emanations and creations. V'seidat dikna, and this is the esoteric doctrine of dikna, symptom of dikna, the life force that animates the hair. Dikna's hair is exceedingly attuned to the point that cutting, it causes no pain. Only a few parts of the body that you cut. You cut your hand, you get pain. But you cut your hair, also nails. When you cut your hair, you have no pain. But here is even more than nails, because ultimately there's certain part of the nails that part of on your body, it would hurt you. But here, you cut your hair, you can cut it with a razor, your head, and you will not have pain. Because it comes from a very high level in Kabbalah. That's why we don't touch our beards. For that reason. So it comes from an extremely high level in Kabbalah. Say dikna, the beard, the seidas, the hair, are used to represent a certain form of tzimtzum. Say dikna. That's what it's in Kabbalah. The esoteric concept of hair in general. That's why one of the reasons why the Levium had to cut their hair, and Matzoid has to cut his hair, and understand that a person that is a nazir doesn't cut his hair. All these things are connected. You see, they're connected to hair, the concept of hair. So, for example, Melech needs to take a haircut every day, and so to say, a kohen is not allowed to take a haircut. These are very esoteric concepts. It's connected to the hair. So you see that there's a concept that even in a human being, his hair that comes right from him, seemingly he can cut it and he has no feeling to it by cutting it. No feeling whatsoever, even though it comes from him. Why wouldn't he have a feeling to that? So the hair just shows on a concept that grows from the person, but nevertheless, there's a concept of a disconnection between the person and his hair. And we see that people are very into their hair. It's in general throughout history. People are into hair. Into those that don't have hair want hair. Those that have hair want their hair in a certain kind of a way. And you see, even by Yosef Atzadik, Masal Sabasade, a person that plays with his hair, and he was really looked to, etc. The concept of hair. So hair has within it, even though l'chayda we cut our hair and we we get rid of hair, and we hide hair, especially in a woman, the concept of hair, and the concept of covering her hair, etc. These are very Kabbalistic concepts that are not just things that the Chachamim came up with. These are deep concepts in Kabbalah, the aspect of hair, and why ultimately vanity is in the hair. Vanity also is the expression of one's hair. Therefore, a man's, for example, Shulchan Aruch, a man shouldn't comb his hair. He shouldn't look at his hair. It's an aspect of the opposite of kedusha, because it shows in the concept of great symptom. It shows on a concept of a great concept of a contraction, and certain forms of tzimtzum. She is circle tzimtzum for the underlying purpose of all contraction is to condense the light in order to be able to become enclosed. In order to be able to come enclosed in the vessels of 10 spheres of the world of emanation. So even the world of emanation, the world of Atzilus also has vessels and has itis, like every other world. But it's much more of a spiritual world, and therefore the vessels are more part of its itis of the earth, but still there's vessels there. So these vessels assume a specific form of wisdom and kindness. By contrast, the divine light that permeates these vessels is essentially simple. Right? Earth pashat, pshitas simple light. When through tzimtzumin, the vessels came into being, and the light clothes itself within them and becomes fused within them, wisdom and kindness becomes one with God. So the midah itself becomes kedusha. In Atzilus, in the world of emanation, the midah itself, chesed and chachma and gevura, all these midahs, since they're very close to the light, therefore they become part of it. Take a glass, a regular glass, you put in a colored juice into it, the glass takes on the color of the juice. Why? Because it's opaque. I'm transparent. It's translucent. You know, the fancy words, but they basically becomes part of the vessel, and it becomes part of its light. The light is simple. The vessel is what creates the differences. The difference ultimately in what chesed is and what gevura is. It's only after this light becomes enclosed within the vessels, the Chochmah Bina Das in Chabad and wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, that my man in these statements are Shaykh Leima Mashakasu Rambam. Who now, see, there was a big argument between Rambam and the other sages of his time if you can call God Chochmah. That was a big argument. And the Alter Rebbe agrees with the Rambam. It says that really the sages are not arguing. The Rambam is not arguing with the sages that you cannot call God by his name, Chachma. Like we said, the Eibush is higher than Chachma. To call God wisdom is diminishing God. And Chas v'shalom, God's infinite. You cannot grasp God in any kind of a word. So therefore, they argue the Rambam. The Alter Rebbe comes to bring to explain these, say that they shouldn't argue. That certain sages are talking before tzimtzum, before contraction, you can't give God in a name. That's what we call Kadosh Baruch Hu. He's above and beyond. He's infinite. He's above and beyond name and expression. The Rambam is talking about after tzimtzum. After God was with Sams himself in the world of Atzilus, in the world of emanation, now there's a concept of Chesed. Now there's a concept of Rachamim, and now there's a concept of Chachma, etc., etc. So, Shaykh Leimu, Mashikosa Rambam. Who are Yedeya? The God is the knowledge. He's the knower. Who are Mada? He's the knowledge. Who are Yedua? And he's the known. But what's the greatness of God being the knower, the knowledge, and the known is Bidas Atzmei. By knowing himself. Not that it's separate from him. That's by humans. That's why God's wisdom is not our wisdom. Even in the concept of wisdom, God's wisdom is not our wisdom. Because our wisdom, there's three things. There's the knower, me. There's the knowledge, what I want to learn, and there is what he knows. So there's three different concepts. There is the knower, the knowledge, and the one who knows. But the Eibush, it's one thing. By God, you can't separate. It's one entity, which the Rambam says it's hard for a human being to comprehend that statement alone. That God is the knower, the knowledge, and the known. Because God knows everything from himself. Because everything is himself. And by us, it's not. Everything we know is what we learn from somebody else or from something else. So we're a vessel. We are the knower, but we're not the knowledge. And therefore, we get the knowledge, or we get to what's known. The vessels of Atzilus become the soul and life force of the world of Bri Yitzir Asiyah and all the creative therein. So everything starts off in the world of Atzilus. The first Tzimtzum Adam Kadmin, Chochmah Atzilus, and now from Chochmah Atzilus, you have all other vessels of Atzilus, Bina, Das, and so on and so forth, the emotions of Atzilus, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes. So by knowing himself, God, by knowing himself, with the knowledge that is found within the vessel itself, he knows all the world creatures, B'riyah, Sir, Asiyah, since they derive their life force from these vessels. So the Eibishter, and even the world of Atzilus, God, over there, they're one with him. So by knowing him, that's the meaning, by knowing himself. By knowing himself, because they're all one with him, automatically, he knows everything that comes from this world. And what comes from this world? The world of Bria, the world of creation, the world of formation, the world of action, ultimately this physical world. So all this, however, can become about after various symptoms have been brought about, contraction of the light, enabling to be vested in vessels of Atzilus. So first, even Atzilus is a Tzimtzum. Even Atzilus is a concept of Tzimtzum, because right now in Atzilus, we gave the name Chachma. We gave a name. And we only can give it a name, Chachma, God as Chachma, after there's a Tzimtzum, after there's a contraction. And now you can say, the Eibush is Chachma. But not that the Eibush has Chachma, the Eibush is Chachma. Chachma Chachma is God, and God is Chachma. But you can't separate the two. I believe but without this this said Tzimtzum and investure of the light in the vessels, it's not at all appropriate. That's what the Alter Rebbe says. I agree with the sages who argue with the Rambam and say you cannot give God a name, and that's true. Before the Tzimtzum, before the contraction of the world of Atzilus, you can't give God any name. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Blessed is he. The blessed HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Blessed is blessed. He's holy and blessed is he. Because in the for the concept of any contraction, you cannot have the concept of who you're there. You can't say God is knowledge You can't ascribe God to wisdom. Exalted statement that he's a no. You can't say that on God. Because God is not within the realm of domain of knowing or knowledge at all. God forbid. He's definitely elevated above even the level of bounds of wisdom. So even the statement that he's a knower applies restriction to God, so to speak. To one particular faculty, wisdom. Distinctive to say that an attribute of kindness and mercy, God, however, is utterly transcends all bounds. We said this before, to the extent that the relation to him, the level of wisdom is considered like the level of physical action. Because God is infinite, and wisdom of Atzilus is still a finite entity, even though it's totally connected to him, it's totally to God, it's to the essence of God, it's finite. So before the note, the Alter Rebbe had said that the man and the nature, the flow, that emanation, how and what is known to the savants, to those hamaskilim, those that know, meaning that it's not understood of how in safe light are emanated the intellectual and emotive attributes, which even after emanation are so completely fused with God that it can be said that he's the knowledge, etc. The Alter Rebbe goes on to say, now we're not concerned with esoteric matters because these are things that are very high, and it's hard for us to comprehend. Surely, for me to comprehend, small people like us, how the emanation, the spheres of Ein Sof came about, the subsequent manner for the unity with him. So to understand Atzilus, as the story is told, that even the Alter Rebbe couldn't even say the word Atzilus. That when he started saying the word Atzilus, he got till Atzi, couldn't say the word of Atzilus. It was too high for him to even say the name Atzilus. But it's incumbent upon us, Lahamin, what we have to do, because these things are very esoteric, very high and lofty concepts, and even if you say it, you don't see it. So it's hard for us as humans to say things that we don't really grasp. And as the Rambam says, if in the world of Atzilus, that he is a knower and a knowledge and a knower, he's all these entities of which the Rambam says we can't understand. So if we can't understand, what are we talking about? If we can't understand, we can't understand what that means, really. We say it, I can express it, but I really don't understand what it means. So therefore, what do we have to believe? We have to believe what the Zohar says. The Zohar explains it in this way. That's the way the Zohar, when it wants to explain what means that in that world, that world is that it's a world that is uncomprehendable. Why? Because in essence, the world of Atzilus is the world where everything is one. And it's hard for us to comprehend how everything is one. How is Chesed and Gevurah one? They're two opposites. How does over there the light and the Keli are one? How does that become one? If everything, if Chochmah and Bina Das are two concepts, how is it one? Meaning the attributes of the Holy One, blessed be He. They're all one with His essence. And that's hard for us to comprehend, because when you say there's Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, you say there's 10 attributes and there's 10 entities. But over there you say, even though there's 10 entities, they're all one. Because they're all connected to the essence of God. The God's light is in a great revelation there, which forces them, so to say, to be one. Because they are Him and He's one. Who is alone, exalted, by infinite elevations above the level of wisdom and comprehension. So hence, since he's totally transcends intellect and comprehension, so his union with the attributes which he emanates from himself is also beyond the realm of comprehension. So that's why we cannot understand Chachmas Shel Baruch Hu. Because if Chachmas, even in the world of Atzilus, in the world of emanation, God's wisdom is one with him. So we can't understand God, we can't understand his wisdom. We can't understand Chesed, we don't understand the true concept of Chesed. Right? And therefore we struggle with Chesed. Eilam Chesed Yibana. The world is a Chesed, and everything that happens, as the Gemara says, nothing bad comes from above. Chesed, everything is Chesed. We can't understand. What do you mean? It's not Chesed. Some things I see, they're not Chesed. And we still say it's Chesed. Why? Because we have to believe. Since everything is Chesed, everything comes from the foundation of Chesed in the creation of the world. So then that's what it is. We don't understand God's Chesed. Why? Because we don't understand how Chesed is one with God. Or how Gevurah is one with God. Or how Teferes is one with God. It's impossible to understand how he unites with them. Rather, this is apprehended through faith. That's our emunah. That's our emunah. We don't have to have an understanding of these concepts. It's not everything that we have to comprehend. Therefore, in the Zohar, the attributes of the Holy One, blessed be He, Shein Sfiris with Zohar, in the Shein Sfiris, which is the Sfiris of the Rizal says, are called Rozedem Nusa. They're called the secrets of faith. This is the faith that transcends intellect. So we believe that everything the Eibush does is good. We don't see it. And we struggle with it, but we have emunah. We have faith. And we have faith in God. So we have faith, even though things look at us, things seem to us that are not logical. Not logical, but we realize everything comes from God. And if everything comes from God, then it is right. That's why even a chas v'shalom, a tragedy, we say Baruch Dayanemes. Not that I understand the truth totally. Not that I understand the kindness of God. Not that I understand the wisdom of God. I believe. Because that's the Ma'alam Anasechon. So then, Eibishter ultimately comes down in Eilam Abriya, in the world of creation. Now it comes more seichodik, comes more intellectual, which you need to use your seichel. But a Jew ultimately has to reach up to the concept of emunah. That ultimately are things that are ma'alam masechel. That's the expression we say. What the Alter Rebbe said, "Hanestaris Hashem Elokeinu, v'neglois lanu." There are certain things that are studies to us, they're hidden to us. And we need a moon in that. We need to have our faith in God. And then there's neglois lanu. There are things that are revealed to us, Baruch Hashem, that we have the capability to understand. We have the capability to comprehend. And that's the things we need to search in. And that's the things we need to build on. The truth is, the more you build on the things that are revealed to us, and learn more Torah and connect more to God through Limud Torah, you'll come to even a deeper emunah, even a deeper concept of emunah. Many of us can have emunah, but that's a very like a tzayin is outerly emunah. We don't have deep emunah. Really, deep emunah is understanding that God is infinite. That's true concept of emunah. Not that I believe God runs the world. That I can see with my own eyes. The concept of emunah is that in the Pnimis HaKadosh, and the essence of God, that's where we need to build our emunah. So therefore, the concept of the knowledge, like the Rambam writes, that God creates the world, you don't have to have emunah. you'll go into the understanding of the world. You realize there needs a creator, and you come to a conclusion, seichel, that you need a creator. You cannot have any other. There's no other option. Emunah I need for deep concepts in godliness. That's what I need emunah for. I shouldn't use emunah for simple things. I should do simple things. I should come on the gloyis lanu. Many things I can come to understanding. I can have a comprehension, and I can come to a conclusion that it is this way because I'll be seichel. Then I should go learn deep concepts of Kabbalah, deep concepts of Chassidus. We learn today, and that's where you have your emunah. The Eibush is l'maylam min hazman. The Eibush is above time and space, and the Eibush is one with his mitzvah. That you leave your emunah to, and you'll grow. The more you grow in the things that you have, the capability of understanding, the more you'll go in the concept of your emunah itself. That completes the Tanya of today. Today is the 30th day. I'm sorry. Today is Rosh Chodesh, the 30th day of the month of Sivan. If you say the Tanya on chapter 104, and the Tanya Tillim, the Tillim Psalms, from chapter 145 to chapter 150, you'll finish the Tillim. We finished the whole Tillim today in the month, and you do the Chitas of the day. And Amit Shem, I'll be here tomorrow again. Tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh, the second day of Rosh Chodesh, the first day of the month of Tammuz. And Amit Shem, I'll be here tomorrow at 8:15 after the davening. We start doing it again at 8:15. We will start to do the Chitas of the day. I want to invite everybody tonight to if I bring in all the Chabad houses in Boca are doing a Fabringin in honor of Gimel Tammuz at Chabad Central. We have a guest Fabringer, and we're going to Fabring tonight at 8:30 there at Chabad Central. Everybody's invited to participate in the Fabringin for Gimel Tammuz. I want to also remind everybody, those that are listening over here in Zoom, those that are listening on the Facebook, that if they want to write, I'm going to be going to New York on Mission Wednesday night to the Ohel, that's Gimel Tammuz. And if they want to write a letter to the Rebbe, they can write to the email, and they email me at zalmanbukid@yahoo.com, and I'll bring this letter to the Ohel on Wednesday night, the day of the passing of the Gimel Tammuz of that day. So Amit Shem, bring all your prayers and your wishes for the Rebbe to bless us all with goodness and happiness and joy in our lives. I wish you all a beautiful and wonderful and happy day.